everybody, V here, and we are going to be discussing another creepy cryptid story. In this video, we will be discussing the Mothman. The first sighting of the Mothman occurred on November 12, 1966, in Glendon, West Virginia, by a group of men working in a cemetery, prepping a grave for burial. The men stated that they saw a very large, dark-colored winged creature that flew down from a nearby tree. The men stated that the creature was far too large to be a bird, and that it looked to be a humanoid in shape. While this creature has been spotted in various parts of West Virginia, the vast number of sightings take place in the West Virginia Ordnance Works, also known as the TNT area, which is an abandoned munitions plant located north of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. This area dates back to World War II, when it was used to manufacture and store ammunition and dynamite. This area is surrounded by thick woods and many concrete domes that were used to store barrels of gunpowder during World War II. In 1979, local fishermen noted that in the TNT area, chemicals had seeped from the domes into local ponds, contaminating the water and the soil, making that area one of the most polluted sites in the country. On November 15, 1966, which was 3 days after the first Mothman sighting, two young couples spotted the winged creature while driving through the West Virginia woods. Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette were driving in Scarberry's black 1957 Chevy Bel Air around midnight when they noticed a pair of bright, red, glowing eyes by the Old North power plant. They then noticed that the pair of red glowing eyes belonged to a very large creature, described to be around 7 feet tall, with large wings that were folded against the creature's back. The group stopped temporarily in their vehicle to get a better look at it, and at that moment they realized that they were not looking at an ordinary bird, but rather something that they had never seen before. After stalling to examine the creature, they decided to start making their way towards town, but to their horror, the creature spread its large wings and began following the vehicle. The creature followed them down Highway 62 into Point Pleasant. Roger stated that he at times was driving at least 100 miles an hour to get away from it, and the creature had no problem keeping up with them. Eventually, the group arrived closer to town, frightened and shocked by what they had just experienced. They decided to park the vehicle so that they could regroup and discuss what they had just seen. In an attempt to escape their fear and shock, they decided that they must have just witnessed a very large bird. Moments after agreeing to this, the group once again saw the creature waiting for them along Highway 62. Once Roger turned his vehicle lights onto the beast, the creature opened its wings and took off into the night sky. After this second encounter, the group decided to go to the local sheriff and report what had happened to them. They went into the Mason County Courthouse and spoke with Sheriff George Johnson and Deputy Miller Halstead. After the police spoke with the two couples, they went to the area of the sightings and started investigating it for the creature. Unfortunately, they came back empty-handed with no creature in sight. The very next day, the local press held a press conference regarding the reports from the following night. After this, many other people came forward with very similar stories of sightings of this unknown beast. The November 16th issue of the Point Pleasant Register reported on the newest sightings with the headlines, quote, "Couple sees man-sized bird, creature, something," end quote. On November 16th, Linda Scarberry ended up having to be rushed to the hospital by her father because of a nervous breakdown over the whole event. The creature continued to be spotted by people over the next year, and it was estimated that there were over 100 separate sightings of the unknown cryptid during that time. It was also reported that Mothman witnesses were being harassed by reported, quote, "men in black," end quote, who would show up within 48 hours of the sighting. The witnesses were told to not speak about the Mothman to anyone by these men in black. All of these sightings and experiences seemed to come to a head with the collapse of the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, on December 15, 1967. The bridge collapsed because of the failure of a single eye bar in a suspension chain on the bridge, which caused the whole bridge to collapse, killing 46 people and wounding many others. Because of this tragedy, the Mothman has started to become known as a bearer of disasters and has been reported to be seen in other areas before a disaster happens. The Mothman was even reported to have been seen hanging around the area of the Chernobyl nuclear plant weeks before the nuclear failure that occurred there. More recently, people have reported to have spotted the Mothman on the day of September 11th, 2001, right before the Twin Towers were attacked in New York City. Many people believe that the Mothman tried to warn people of impending disasters, while others believe that he caused the catastrophes himself. The Mothman is described to be a bipedal humanoid with large wings. Even though his name suggests that he looks similar to a moth, he's actually described to look more like a man with large wings. His color is described to be either black or a very dark gray, and many report that he is between 7 and 8 feet tall, with a wingspan between 10 and 15 feet. He has bright red glowing eyes that seem to pierce into you when you look at him. It is described that his head's placement is more in the center of his chest rather than on a neck, and his eyes are described to be very reflective. Witnesses of the creature reported having very severe nightmares from the fear that they had experienced during the encounter, as well as having psychological effects later on in life, such as post-traumatic stress syndrome, which lasted for months. The Mothman sightings have been reported to have been related to other known cryptids, such as the Thunderbird or the Owlman, which have also been reported to have been spotted in the same area as the Mothman around the same time. Sheriff George Johnson believed that the witnesses saw nothing more than a large heron. Wildlife biologists believe that the Mothman was nothing more than a large sandhill crane. Other skeptics believe that the witnesses saw an owl or another type of large bird, and because of the limited light, they perceived the creature to be of an unknown origin. Some people believe that the Mothman is either an angel or a devil, or maybe even a curse, that was placed long ago on the town of Point Pleasant. While most living in the area know about the Mothman and its history, it is considered to be a true piece of the Point Pleasant history. Today, the town celebrates an annual Mothman Festival, which started back in 2002, which is held during the third week of September every year. The festival is held near the Mothman Museum and the Mothman statue, and features many different types of vendors, guest speakers, food, live music, and much more. My opinion of this case is that I believe it to be true in the sense that the people of Point Pleasant must have seen something that they could not explain. I do believe that there are creatures that exist on our planet that we have either never seen or have only been seen by a small amount of people, such as the Bigfoot. I believe that it is entirely possible to have creatures living here on this planet that are completely unknown to us. Our planet is vast and has many areas that are heavily wooded and uninhabited by humans, which makes it completely possible. Well, that is it for this video. I hope you guys like this creepy story. If you'd like more information on the Mothman, I will link all the articles that I got my information from in the description below. Thanks again for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.